Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, where did the fire go? You used to be unstoppable. The world once felt like a battlefield you could conquer with nothing but your ambition and a strong will. But somewhere along the way, something changed. The hair thinned. The knees started to ache. The eyes, and once sharp with dreams, now carry quiet questions. And you begin to wonder, is this what it means to grow old? Or have you just forgotten what it means to live? You see, society tells men that aging is a slow decline, that your worth fades with your youth. But Stoicism whispers something very different. It says, the man who has faced time and remained standing is not weaker, he is rarer. So if you're an older man listening to this right now, this video is your reminder that your story isn't over. In fact, it's about to become the most powerful chapter yet, because Stoicism teaches us that while the body ages, the mind can still grow sharper, calmer, and infinitely stronger. 1. The Stoic view of aging, the fire that never dies. Have you ever noticed how most men fear growing old? Not because of age itself, but because of what it represents? They look back at their youth like it was the only time life was worth living. But that's the biggest lie modern society sells you. The Stoics saw aging differently. They saw it as evolution. The moment when the noise of youth fades and the truth of your soul starts to speak. When you were young, your energy came from restlessness. You wanted to prove something, and to women, to the world, maybe even to your own father. But now, you no longer need to prove anything. You've already lived, lost, and learned. You've been betrayed, broken, rebuilt, and that makes you dangerous in the most beautiful way, because your strength now comes not from muscle, but from clarity. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, and yet he wrote about humility. Why? Because power without peace means nothing. That's what aging teaches. Peace is the highest form of strength. The man who no longer reacts, who no longer chases validation, who walks calmly through storms, that man commands respect without demanding it. So don't see your wrinkles as weakness. See them as wisdom carved by experience. Your youth burned bright, but your maturity burned steady, and a steady fire can last forever. 2. The fear of irrelevance, and how Stoicism destroys it. Let's be honest. One of the hardest parts of getting older is watching the world move on without you. You see younger men rising in business, getting attention online, attracting women who don't even glance your way. And deep inside, a quiet fear whispers, am I still valuable? That fear of irrelevance eats at many men, but Stoicism crushes it completely. Because true worth was never about being seen, and it was about being solid. Seneca said, he who is brave is free, and nothing takes more bravery than aging with dignity in a world that worships youth. The problem isn't that time has changed, it's that men stop evolving with it. They give up on learning, on improving, on staying mentally sharp. But the Stoic man?
He keeps growing, keeps thinking,
keeps acting with purpose, and that's what makes him ageless. Relevance doesn't come from followers or fame. It comes from the quiet power of a man who carries wisdom in his words and peace in his presence. People feel it. Women sense it. Younger men respect it, even if they can't explain why. So never chase attention. Cultivate depth, because while the crowd cheers for noise, the wise few listen for truth, and truth never gets old. 3. The power of acceptance. Letting go of what you can't control. Every man eventually faces this lesson. No matter how hard you fight, time always wins. You can't outlift it. You can't outrun it. You can't charm it. But you can learn to accept it. And that's where Stoic strength begins. Epictetus said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Most of your pain about aging doesn't come from what's happening. It comes from what you think it means. You think losing your youth means losing your power, but that's false. What you're really losing is your illusion of control, and that's a gift. Because when you finally stop trying to control what's slipping away, you free yourself to master what remains, your mind. Wrinkles can't touch your wisdom. Gray hair doesn't weaken your discipline. And no clock can destroy your calm unless you let it. Acceptance doesn't mean surrender. It means seeing life clearly, without resistance. You stop complaining and start observing. You stop wishing things were different, and start acting with intention in the world as it is. That's when peace begins. When you stop fighting time and start walking beside it, like an old friend who has nothing left to prove. First, rediscovering purpose, the Stoic cure for emptiness. Many men after 40 or 50 begin to feel like they've run out of purpose. The kids are grown. The career is routine. The thrill is gone. But this is exactly when a man can find his truest mission, if he looks inward. Stoicism teaches that your purpose isn't found in the world. It's forged in your virtue, your ability to live with excellence, no matter what life throws your way. Marcus Aurelius didn't stop leading Rome because he was tired. He saw every sunrise as another chance to serve, to grow, to act with wisdom. And that's what aging gives you. The clarity to see what really matters. Purpose now isn't about chasing trophies. It's about building legacy. You see, legacy isn't built by fame. It's built by consistency. By how you show up every single day, even when no one's watching. Maybe your new purpose is to guide younger men. Maybe it's to rebuild yourself after heartbreak. Or maybe it's simply to live quietly but powerfully. Proving that peace can be more magnetic than chaos. Stoicism calls this eudaimonia, living in accordance with your best self. And once you do that, every morning becomes a mission again. The worst mistake older men make is assuming that purpose is something they had. No, purpose isn't a memory. It's a muscle. And like every muscle, it grows when you train it. 5. Emotional mastery. The Stoic strength that never ages. A young man's strength is in his body. An old man's strength is in his mind. When you've lived long enough, you've seen betrayal, heartbreak, failure. And those scars, they teach emotional control that no book ever could. The Stoics called it apatheia. Not emotionlessness, but emotional freedom. It's when you feel deeply, but nothing controls you anymore. A young man gets angry when someone disrespects him. An old Stoic man smiles, because he knows that anger only poisons the one who drinks it. You can't control other people's behavior, only your response to it. That's real power. That's the kind of strength that outlives youth. Think about it. When others panic, you stay calm. When others complain, you adapt. When others chase noise, you move in silence. That kind of composure, it commands respect. Because in a world where everyone's reactive, the man who remains centered becomes magnetic. He's not just older, he's wiser. He's not chasing, he's attracting. And that's what women, children, and younger men subconsciously respect. A man who has learned to rule himself. So if you want to feel powerful again, stop trying to control life. Master your reaction to it. That's where timeless masculinity is born. 6. Love, loss, and letting go. The Stoic heart of an older man. Let's be honest, by the time a man reaches middle age, he's loved deeply and lost painfully. Maybe it was a woman who walked away. Maybe it was a family that drifted apart. Maybe it was a dream that never happened. And those losses leave a mark. But Stoicism reminds us that nothing truly belongs to us. Not people, not youth, not even time. Everything is borrowed. And wisdom comes when you finally stop clinging. Epictetus said, when you kiss your child, remind yourself you may not have them forever. He wasn't being dark, he was being real. Because when you realize how fragile everything is, you stop taking love for granted. For the older man, love becomes deeper, not because it's louder, but because it's wiser. He no longer needs someone to fill his emptiness. He becomes complete within himself, and from that completeness, love flows freely. So if your heart has been broken or if you've lost something you can't replace, remember, Stoicism doesn't teach you to stop feeling. It teaches you to feel without falling apart. That's the kind of love that never fades, the love that begins with self-respect. First, the final Stoic lesson: death, legacy, and peace. This is the truth most men spend their whole lives avoiding. That everything ends, youth fades, careers close, friends drift away. But a Stoic man doesn't fear death. He prepares for it by living fully. Marcus Aurelius wrote daily reminders that he would die, not out of fear, but out of clarity. Because when you remember your time is short, you stop wasting it on what doesn't matter. You stop arguing over nonsense. You stop chasing people who don't value you. You stop trying to be someone you're not. And in that silence, you finally feel free. The Stoics didn't teach men how to escape death. They taught them how to live well before it comes. And that's the message to every older man watching this right now. You are not done. Your best days don't have to be behind you. They can begin the moment you decide to live with virtue, discipline, and calm strength. The body may weaken, but the mind, and if trained, it becomes unbreakable. So let the young chase noise. Let them drown in distractions. You walk in silence with purpose, because true masculinity, true stoicism, and true power begin the moment you stop fearing time and start mastering it. Conclusion. If you've made it this far, remember, aging is not losing. It's evolving. You are not fading away, and you are becoming rarer, calmer and stronger than ever before. And the man who learns to be still in a world of chaos, that man becomes eternal. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.